All right, what's good, guys? Back Mac Dad Games, back at it with episode 6 of our YouTube playthrough. So hopefully the last video there didn't bore any of you guys and wasn't a complete waste of my time. I thought it was fun for me. I'm a very nostalgic guy, so going back to one of my first, I think it was my third playthrough ever, and obviously now I'm on like my 8th or ninth or whatever. But one of my best villages was just kind of fun to show you guys and give you a quick teaser of, again, what's possible. From starting with right here, which already in, I think, only 5, now 6 episodes, and already just finished, spring and on my last day of summer, I already have a little village, with 2 people working here and a couple things going on. And of course, what you can see, what can happen in just a few more game years, well, realistically, 8 more game years, it is just super rewarding and fun to really see all that come together and just everything happen. So super fun, man. It's one of my favorite things about this game in total is just what you can accomplish and just starting from nothing, and it's just real fun. So without getting too sappy here, let's jump right back into it where we pretty much left off. So this is the last day of summer. The only quest I have that I knew it was going to be easy to turn in here is, of course, my Salt to Derwin. I'm going to do that in a little bit. I actually want to see if I have the tools or the materials, sorry, to build the excavation shed and a whole nother house. I want to do those first while I'm here in the village because trying to again be efficient with our time here. If I'm going to go back to Piastovia to turn this quest in, I might as well just try and recruit a villager at that same time. And I have until the end of the day to do all that. So I like the idea of having the whole area here by the cave being my excavation area. I'm thinking I might be able to put something else in this area, kind of right on the edge, that just kind of makes sense. Maybe another production building, honestly, since I'll have the smithy right there. Might be able to put something else right here that'll work, later on. So I think I'm gonna actually utilize this kind of end of the map, right? Like we're right here, kind of on the corner. I know it might look a little funky, but I was already kind of looking at this. I'm probably gonna actually turn this into a road that does go up to the higher part of the town. I'm gonna probably end up putting my farming up here, so it's gonna be a pretty steep road. Again, trying to play off the topography. I mean, it's not crazy steep, and it is like this nice little kind of slope between the cliff sides here. So I just think that makes sense. I will end up using that for the future here, but I think this little kind of section right here is where I want to put my excavation sheds and really just the mining area in general. So, cool thing about the excavation shed is right off the cusp here, you only need one of them to have 2 villagers go working here. I'm gonna plop that right there, and I do have all the materials. Oh, I did. God, oh, I don't even have all the 8. I don't have 8 stone. Oh my God, yeah, that's what the problem is. I'm like that far away from the resource storage. That's what really sucks about the level 1 resource storage is you literally only have 50 meters. But of course I place this just like 55 meters away from the resource storage. So let me real quick go in here and see what I need. So I need 26 log, 8 stone, and 32 straw. So let's run over here real quick and grab all those materials so I can get that built, which luckily I do have that. What was it? It was 26 logs, I think I saw. If it's 24, I'll have enough. So look at that. Already going to have to cheat again. I know, guys. You're going to hate me for that, but it's just too easy in this game, to have to just turn on that unlimited carry. Because even when you're just trying to build something, I mean, it's going to be a lot easier when I do have the higher level resource storage and I can go beyond 50 meters to build things remotely. But oh God, I just don't have I don't have the patience right now. I just keep running back and forth with that. So let me just grab my items here and yeah, real quick, go over to customize game, plop that on, and there we go. Now I can walk again. Again, you don't have to be like me, man. If you guys play through this game, it will be a lot more realistic. You don't need to turn that on, right? But everyone plays the way they want to play it. I do cheat on that for sure. But here we go. Got my 8 stone. Got my logs. Let's get this thing all built out. One more here, and then for the roofs, yeah, I did have the exact amount of logs I needed. Perfect. Look at that. Got the exact amount. So here is our excavation shed. So I'm gonna have this actually have a little road coming right off over here. kind of like the idea of it being like part of the mining area for sure. And I think, of course, if once the time is necessary, I'll build a second one, right next to it too. But again, this just is what makes a lot of sense to me. Have this whole area right next to where, of course, we're going to have people going into the mines. So for the housing, as I kind of mentioned earlier too, I like the idea of putting a lot of the houses on the beach. I think that makes a lot of sense. Make some beach houses, right? As you saw in my last playthrough, or the last video, sorry, of my 8th tier village, my best village there, I will create a location here. I think that is going to be, no houses on the beach. It's just kind of that nice little beach area people can go to and spend a day at the beach and hang out. I will make that for sure. But I think what I'm going to do, because I know a lot of my excavation people for the mine in the future and all of those, I think I'm going to have to just have them all in this area on this side of the village. So even like the furthest house, I'm going to eventually probably end up having over here, along the cliffside. I think that'll just be a nice thing to utilize over here, off to the edge. And again, not crazy far. Probably just have a nice road coming all the way along, the cliff and these trees, and just lead it right into the main path right here, which eventually will even go up that way too. So I like the idea of that, but I'm going to start with my first house. I kind of like it being right here at the entrance. I'm going to have a road coming down right over here, and I'm going to put my first house right here. All right, well, first house for the excavation area, of course. Let's plop it right there. Not like right on the water, but he's like right there. I do like this kind of setup, and I think I'm close enough, yeah, to my resource storage. You see how much easier it is when you're close to the resource storage. I can now access all these things very easily without having to run back and forth. Should have enough logs and sticks for this. Looking good so far. Let's get all these walls in. Definitely going to put a nice window wall right there. There we go. There we go. And then put in even another one right there. So you get a nice view, right? Get a nice view. You can see the cave, see the water, and then last but not least, there we go. Had the perfect amount of materials. Now let's build that road for him that kind of connects everything together. So I'll be able to have like more houses here. As you can kind of see, this is a long way down to the beach. I think what I might end up doing again in the future is I might be able to put some houses along the side right here too. Like this can kind of be like a little kind of road, like a one-way road, if you will, that just lead to that guy's house. But then I can maybe even have like another house right over here, and then possibly right over here as well. Like there's a lot of like empty space between that house and of course coming over here, those little crossroads. So you don't want to waste that. But again, that's for the future that we'll kind of get into here. But for now, that house is perfect. So I've got my house, got my excavation shed. And as you guys remember, and I think it was episode 4 there, we have the full-on automation of everything. So I don't need to put anything in that house. Got food in here, got stuff in the resource storage. All I need is to bring in my villager, and he has everything that he really needs. Another nice thing, too, is I already now have 4 houses, but 3 of which are occupied. So I know very easily which one I'm going to be putting him into once I do get him recruited, which again, later in the game can be a very, very, little more difficult to do once you have much more of your whole space kind of laid out for you. So let's do that. I'm going to make a quick run over to Piastovia because we are already, well, it's still only like 11 a.m. So I actually have plenty of time to go turn in this quest and recruit him before I finish off the day. But I'm just going to tackle that real quick just to get it out of the way. So be right back, guys. Okay, coming up on Piastovia here. Let's real quick check the village while I'm running, the villagers while I'm running by them. I don't think I have anybody level 3 here. Yeah, for excavation, so we're gonna go by them. Again, if you remember, I think in the first or second video when I was getting my first villager, like we have this lady right here that's a level 3 extraction person. But I do prefer, and this is something I actually learned, because if you actually saw the last video, I do have multiple women that are level 3 for excavation, things like that. And the problem with that is that's like one of the easiest things to have automated and never to really worry about. And with the women in the game, they do eventually get pregnant, and when they give birth to the child, they can't work for 2 in-game years. It's kind of honestly a long time in the game. So it's like when you have people automated and like cutting down logs and in the mines for you, I mean, I don't want 2 whole years of them not doing that anymore. It's just kind of a big hindrance. And also, again, kind of goes hand in hand too, like I mentioned, when I was doing my first recruiting, it's a little difficult because I just don't think that makes sense. I think the men are going to be doing all that, the women are going to be doing other things. So we'll get into that here soon. But anyway, the crown appreciates you. Thanks, Derwin. I have some salt to spare. Great. Let's salt this. Let's salt this salt away then. Here's your payment. Thank you. What I get? $60. Take it. Or wait, no, $88 and 60 Dynasty reputation, which is helpful. This is very good, very good. All right, so medieval marketing, yeah, that's the beetroot quest. Not gonna be able to tackle that until honestly like next fall, because I can't plant that stuff until spring anyway, and then it takes 2 seasons before I can harvest it. So perfect. Now let's go to our good old Wagoneer, and I think I've already done this a couple times, but just to kind of reiterate, this is why you always want to have cash on hand and have money. I do actually need to take a quick bath though, because one other thing in this game, if you look at the bottom left to the right there, I am dirty. And in this game, if you get too dirty, people won't talk to you, which I guess makes a lot of perfect sense. I wouldn't really want to be talking to people that stink either. I don't know about you guys, but like I remember my old days in high school or even middle school for that matter. But there were some gross kids, man. There was one kid who like I guess never brushed his teeth, and dude, I could barely hold a conversation with him because his breath literally smelled like freaking manure. And I'm like, dude, someone should have told him. Felt bad, but I get it. So if you stink, no one wants to talk to you. So get a quick bath in here before I jump across. So let me actually check something real quick. All right, had to take a quick pause there real quick. Hopefully a little nonchalant, didn't interrupt anything. But what I was actually checking real quick was what makes it most efficient. So what I usually like to do if I have to go and find things at each village, I like to try and jump to the one furthest away from my village, which actually, of course, Clonica is the closest one, right? So I might go to Astoya and then Skaki and then all the way up to Clonica, so then that way I can just run from Clonica to my village. So let's start with the Wagoneer heading over to Astoya. I don't know if we've been to these other villages in the playthrough yet. So let's kind of do a quick little run around. So Astoya is a nice village. The cool thing about this one is this is where you actually get your fold in the later game here. So I got to come here in the later end game or whatever, and you can actually buy all your sheep, and those will give you wool, and you can even get milk from them, I believe, as well. They also have goats, which is cool. So it depends whatever animal you want. Each village has their specialties. So yeah, they got some goats. They got some sheep here. Run over to their barn real quick. No one looking. Steal some of that flax. Why not? Hell yeah. All right, and then the other cool thing about Astoya is there another one that actually is pretty big on some farming. So you can have to issue. So like Piastovia definitely has a lot of the vendors, but of course each village has their specialties as well. So like in Piastovia, if you go to the material vendor, you can buy everything from him. Like if you need, let's say if we go down here and I have to start buying fertilizer, like she has 161 of them, but if I need more, I can go back over to Piastovia and now, buy out him for his 150, 160 fertilizer, giving me like 300 fertilizer per season. So it's nice to know that there are multiple vendors throughout, which is really cool. But the main thing we're here for, this is also like a fishing town, by the way. But actually, let me do something real quick, because I do have some time. I think this is a quick quest to do. Let me see which one it is. Bad as always, a swarm of mosquitoes and a crazy husband weren't enough. Now I have to deal with someone littering near the lake. Oh, this quest kind of sucks. It takes a while. Some jerk has left a basket and some stupid piece of parchment next to it. What does he think he is, a garbage dump? Don't worry, I'll deal with it. So you know what, though? This is actually perfect timing, because this quest, I mean, look at the rewards here. I'll get 360 Dynasty reputation and 500 coin. But this quest also takes multiple seasons to complete, so it's actually super convenient that I started it while we are on the last day of the summer season, so I can kind of get it moving along. So if you run over here, of course, you have the quest marker on the top compass there. This is like kind of a fishing quest, but again, money is never been an issue for me in this game, so I kind of take the easier route, but the more expensive route for sure. And you'll see. So you come over here, there's an empty basket, and there's a little note right here. It says, you notice a piece of parchment just lying inconspicuously on the ground. The strange note reads as follow: bring fish, roaches, the small ones. Put in basket, polite, 3 equals 5. Analyze the page more deeply. It's not only worded in a weird, unusual way, but also written as if someone was trying to hold the quill with their mouth. The letters are scribbled in a sloppy manner, and the ink is scattered everywhere. It couldn't have been a work of an adult. Most likely, it's a child doing a very young one. So what it wants me to do is actually go find the smallest child in the village. I think this part is a little like unnecessary, but is what it is. It's a little annoying, 'cause of course it's a pretty decent sized village. I think once you get close, oh there he is. Yep, Milliwatt. I was gonna say once you get close to him, the little quest marker is above his head. So this little bugger wants me to do something. Hey there, little buddy. How's your day going? My day? It's okay. I wanted to splash in the lake, but I couldn't find my towel. I never use one. In fact, I don't even take my clothes off most of the time. That's silly. You'll be wet. Wet? Been dirty, warm, cold, injured, poisoned. What else? Oh, drunk, of course, but I've never been wet. Maybe only kids get wet. Maybe. Anyway, I wanted to ask about this letter. Did you write it? Oh, thank you, mister. For what? For thinking I could know how to write. People say I can't even walk normally, so that's nice. Kids are funny, man. I guess I was wrong. Don't worry. I'd rather be happy than right. Actually, a pretty wise thing to say for a little one. Before you go looking for your letter, could you help me with something? Sure, what do you need? I want to learn how to fly. Yeah, good luck. Everybody says so, but I do believe in it. People can fly. They just don't know how. I think I do, though you'll just have to throw yourself to the ground and then just miss, like the clouds are doing. You think that the clouds are flying? Well, the clouds hang in the sky the same way that stones don't. Wow, this kid's interesting. Want a toy or something? Yeah, a toy will do. There's a man in town who sells wooden figurines. I want a bear. Bears are the best. Fine, I'll get you a bear. So technically, I will have to run back to Piastovia real quick to acquire a bear. So I'm going to do this, because again, this quest I do know is seasonal. So once I complete this little situation, I then have to actually do what the rest of the note says. It actually tells you to put, I think, like 20 or 30 roaches in the basket. And again, it's kind of convenient because this is a fishing village, and there's a vendor over there that actually sells fish. So that's what I was kind of saying just a minute ago. You can obviously go the cheap route and go fishing for all those fish yourself, but I just, again, don't have the time to do that. To actually fish 30 fish in this game does take a while, so I just go buy it and I plop it in the chest there. But I do the same thing when they need more food afterwards. But let's real quick also just check if we have a man level 3. So this is one of those stupid areas where it's all women, and of course the women have some level 3 extraction knowledge there. But again, I'm just not going to play that route, so I'm going to keep going to the other villages to try and find a woman that will do that. So before I jump back to Piastovia, I am going to continue with the Wagoneer over to Skokie just real quick, because I want to try and again find that third villager before the end of this season. Let's run over there. There is another quest over in Skokie we could tackle, but I'm not going to jump at that one yet. We will come back to that probably next season. Skokie's a nice village. This one's mainly for mining. But as we go back over here, they all have their own little niche. Like Klonika is for like logs and wood chopping, Skokie mining, and as you saw, Astoya for farming or fishing. Sorry. This one's the opposite of Astoya. It's all men here to recruit, so this is pretty good. Good. First guy, level 19. He's got his level 3 extraction. That's what we love to see. Let's just check out the other guys. Ooh, there we go. Another level 3. Crap, we're getting burned. And number 1. So we actually have 2 level 3 guys here, which is nice. They do usually reset every season, but we'll see about that. We'll just bring this guy over. So Nadbor. Perfect. So real quick, manually in the management tab, because I have everything built for him, I can plop him in that house. Then I can get him working in that extraction shed. The one thing I actually did forget about with the extraction shed is I don't know if I had put a pickaxe in the resource storage. I might have it in there. I think I might have put one of my bronze pickaxes in there, but we'll have to check when we get back to the village. But right off the bat, so all they can do here in the extraction set is do copper, ore, stone, clay, limestone, and straw. Again, straw you'll be able to get through farming much later in the game, so not that important. Limestone can be, a little difficult and tedious to acquire yourself, so eventually I'll have them doing that because you're going to use this to actually insulate your stone buildings a lot more mid and late game. Clay will 100% be utilized in the future too if you want to make your own bottles and bowls and things like that. But right now, not super important. And same with the copper ore. I'm not going to get him going at that either. I really just want to have stone automated right now. And I'm pretty sure one guy, level 3, once we have this maxed out, I think is bringing in like 24, 25 stone a day. 20, almost 30 on the dot. Nice, nice. There we go. I like that. So now he's bringing in 30 stone a day on his own. And look at that. I have everything set up, so he's pretty much good and happy. Just get right to work. So now what I'm going to do, that is taken care of, I'm going to run back over here. And I'm going to fast travel my way to Piastovia. So I can buy that bear figurine real quick for our little friend Milliwatt. Milliwatt, he's a funny little guy. I will say, the game has some really funny dialogue, and there's a lot of, like, Easter egg dialogue, if you will. Like, if you listen to some of the villagers, they'll say things that are kind of, hinting at other real-world, like, games and television shows and whatnot. It's actually really, really fun. Sorry, let's find, there we go, this guy. He's got the wooden bear figurines. He sells all like the cool, expensive stuff. But if you go all the way to the bottom, here we go. A wooden bear figurine for $45. God. Things I do to complete these quests. So now that I've got that, let's real quick run back over to our Wagoneer. This is why, guys, I love using the Wagoneer, man. You can tell there's a lot of running around in this game. I mean, you got people in one village asking you to collect things from another village, and it's just jumping all over the place. It gets very tedious. This is why you want to have money. You want to have money in this game. And again, we'll learn how to acquire that very easily, and we'll get through it all. You're gonna learn a lot of things here during this playthrough. So let's run. Oh, going the wrong way. Let's run back over to my boy, Milliwatt. Oh crap. Ordering myself. What I think it's annoying about Astoya is because a lot of it is all on these piers, and I can't jump up on the piers. So I gotta like find the entrance to them. What are you doing? You already have a toy, man. Alright, well, I'm giving you another one. Did you get it? One wooden beer for one clutter. You're a wooden bear. Yippee! The toys are the best. They must be made by someone who loves children, and the bear is the bestest of the best. Thank you so much. No problem, kid. Oh, and about your letter. What are you gonna do with it now? I don't have any more leads, so I guess I'll just do what it says and see. That's exciting. I'm gonna play with my bear, but first I need to drink Mummy's juice. Sigh, it's the worst. It doesn't actually taste like real juice. It tastes almost but not quite entirely unlike juice. Do what your mother tells you. I'm sure it's harmless. Well, mostly harmless. It's funny. I wonder if they're talking like breast milk. Well, it's 5. I don't think they drink breast milk after 5 years old. Alright, so anyway, I gotta put 30 roach in the basket. So like I said, you can absolutely go fishing for the roach if you want to. But I am not. I'm going to show you guys the most efficient way to do it. Run over to Caesar here, or however you pronounce his name. He happens to have exactly 33 roaches. I'm going to buy 30 of those for 300 bucks. But again, I have the money for it. So it just makes it much easier to accomplish this. So now, we got to run back over to the bucket. And we're going to place those roach in there. And then you'll see it's just going to basically say to come back next season. So it's convenient. Like, this is one of those quests where it's honestly just kind of nice to come and do it at the end of each season. Because then at the start of that next season, you can come back and get the next quest in that in the process, or in the whole quest line, if you will. So plop these in here. There's an empty wicker basket right in front of you. Put collected fish inside. You fill up the container to the brim with a bunch of fresh roach. Step aside, and lo and behold, wait for the next season. So that's essentially what we're going to do. So let's run back over here. There's nothing else I need at this village right now. I mean, I do know eventually, like, conveniently, like, the women are very good for a lot of the other jobs. Like, I like having them for farming, diplomacy, honestly, some for production, and some survival. Like, it is more normal for, like, women to be, like, honestly, sometimes hunters, of course, herbalist, which the survival and the hunting, skill chain is really good at. So might end up actually building a hunter cabin soon and just bring in a hunter. We'll see about that. Like, this guy's a level 3 hunter, so that wouldn't be bad to come back for that. But not going to get too sidetracked right this second. So yeah, like I mentioned before, because we kind of did this whole thing expecting to maybe land back in Clonica, I am not going to run all the way to my village. I mean, right now from Astoya to my village, it is almost 1,200 meters away, and that'll definitely take a minute. So what I'm going to do is run back over to my boy, the old Wagoneer here, and go to Clonica, of course, the closest village to me. And then I will run. Now I just cut that time in half. Look at that, 1,200 meters down, only 600 meters to my village. Much, much easier. All right, guys, be right back. All right, guys, here we are. We're right across the river from my village. Along the way, I actually found a couple lost shipments and little things. I found some money, some linen fabrics, things like that, which is always really nice. So, in the game, it's definitely, it makes sense to travel. I do use the Wagoneer a lot, obviously, but if you do run along like buildings to village, things like that, you will find a lot of stuff. So there's definitely some benefits to that for sure. But I was actually going to mention, real quick, if I'm getting to people watching these videos, if you guys leave comments and actually want to see me, like, film or keep filming as I travel between the villages, by all means, I'd be more than happy to do that. As of right now, I just kind of skip through it to keep the time down on the videos, honestly. But if people are watching it and want to see me do that, by all means, let me know. I'll take feedback, I'll take criticism, and try to just make it more entertaining for everybody as I'm having fun doing it too. But real quick, because I had time still, before the season is over, I'm sure you guys have seen it, but there was this abandoned building right across the river from our village. And I already got some wine and some coin out of one of the barrels here. I figured I'd just stop by and check out what this little area had to offer for us. Looked like an abandoned little kind of like fishing hut here, actually. Ooh, a bag. Ooh, some beetroot. Look at that. We have a quest where we got to have only 65 more of those. Some cherry tree seedlings is nice to find. Some planks. Go up there and see what's going on up here. Oh, what's that? Some more cherry wine right in the windowsill there. A barrel full of fish, but of course you can't go taking those. Got a beer bottle, another beer bottle. We got here a sack. Oh wow, 130 coin. Some hops. Nothing in these barrels. Oh, a couple more buckets. Those are always good to find. Honestly, that's super nice. More berry wine. There we go. Another bucket. Nice, nice. Another sack. Ooh, some more flax. Wool thread. That stuff's not cheap and not easy to come by. Carrying down. Ooh, see, look at this. A little coin purse. Look how easy it is to, like, not see that. That's why in one of the other videos I did point out that you always want to be looking, like, in the nooks and the crannies and, like, the broken sections of the buildings, because they do that. And you could ooh, a basic hat. That's actually super nice to find. And look at that, another coin purse hidden right below it. How funny. The hat's actually super nice. Surprisingly, I didn't run into this issue this summer. But in the summertime, you actually can get hot versus cold. So having a hat on you, it actually shows right here, it's plus 12% heat protection. So it is really nice to have that in the summer. Luckily, this summer wasn't super hot, so I didn't run into that issue. What else we got over here? Another bucket. Couple of fishing spears. You know what? I will snag those just to have them. I'm just going to put them in my resource storage because if I do build my own fishing hut soon, which I will of course do, that is what the fishermen need to do their fishing. Perfect. All right, let's head back over here. I think there was another little building in here. I didn't go inside yet. What do we got in here? Empty bucket. Ooh, a bag. That's nice. Clay bottles for decoration. If I care to do decorating right now, I'd be grabbing those. But in the future, when you have clay coming in, it'll all be very easy to actually make those things and place them. You know what? Screw it. I will actually just take them. Why not? I can do some decorating as I go along. So checking up in the nooks and crannies, any more like little coin purses, anything like that. Not seeing them. Oh, a hammer. Copper hammer. It's almost broken, but oh, see another coin purse. 85 coin. Dang man, I think I got like 300 plus gold from this one abandoned building, and it was just literally right across the river from us. So that's nice. Definitely check these out, man. If you run into them, all right, this might take a second, but I'm gonna literally just swim across. I might skip this real quick. This is boring, just swimming across the water. All right, here we go. Trying to like sprint my way across. So one thing I wanted to show you, which is why I'm not taking a drink of water right now. On the change of a season, you replenish everything. Your food, your water, your health, all of that. So I'll just show you guys real quick while we break our way into the fall and finish off this episode. So it's an easy way to just save your food and water, honestly. Because you just change in the season, it'll take care of it for you. So perfect. That is the end of fall. Got some more skills I could do real quick. Again, as you guys know, I don't care much about the production tab because all this stuff, not a big deal for me. So that way I get less loss on things with my hammer. Cooking and sewing, that takes a little while in the future, so I'll just upgrade that one here. But yeah, everything's good. I got my third villager in here. He's happy. He has his tools and everything. So let's just go to sleep real quick because it is very dark. and see if anything happens on the change of this season into fall. So we're getting close to the end of our first year. Fall is pretty fun, just like in real life. Very beautiful. You know, the trees change color, things like that. Nothing happened. All right, perfect. So anyway, if you do see in the top right though, right, don't panic. The quest now says check out the site near the lake. We'll definitely do that in the next video for sure. Because again, I do know this quest takes a couple of seasons to complete. But anyway, here's fall, man. It does look beautiful. All the trees have changed colors now. This is a season where we can actually do some planting. Makes a lot of sense to plant. You can do rye and you can actually do wheat as well. I think what I might do throughout the season of fall is start working on getting my field kind of prepped and put together and just ready to have come spring. But yeah, we'll definitely jump into that all here in the next video. What I do want to go through is actually just place some things in my resource storage, like the flax that I found, the hop, got some linen fabric, some planks, some wool thread, some weapons. I know I found some bags there, which are actually super useful. Some buckets. Kind of keep going down. I found another hammer. Throw that in there. And then my 6 fishing spears. Definitely gonna place all of those in here. That way that I'm not gonna use them, but that way I know they're there for when we do eventually have some fishermen. All the bowls and the cups in there. All right, perfect. Now I forgot to put my food in the food shed before the turn of the season, so that was a rookie mistake. It does destroy it quite a lot. Went from 100 down to 50% condition. You know, I had some cabbage on me. I had my actually that was it, just the beetroot and the cabbage. Luckily, the cherry wine, things like that, those don't go down. But anyway, perfect, guys. I think it's a good spot to end it. So like I said, next video, we'll definitely jump into getting the farming area pretty much prepped and laid out. That way it's just, you know, ready to go come, you know, spring of next year. And we'll start kind of laying out some more of the road and just kind of getting a nice little foundation and baseline for this village. But I think it's coming along quite nice. I mean, you'll see here soon enough, there's a guy that now lives in that house. I don't even think he's probably here at the village yet. I mean, he's walking from pretty far away. Maybe he is here. Oh, he's already in the house. I didn't even see him. Yeah, he's in there already. Good for him. So perfect, man. He's gonna start working at bringing in some stone. We got our wood cutters. Like, things are coming together, and we like to see that. So hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. Again, MacDad Games, and I'll see you guys back here for episode 7. Thanks for watching.